Hi everybody, it's Cheryl again for our final DML badges webinar. I was going to say I hope everybody has tissues ready, but of course this is really just the start of when it gets really exciting. So those tissues, hopefully you'll use them for feelings of joy and excitement about what we're doing. I think you all saw in our webinar announcement that we have two things going on in this webinar. For half an hour, we're going to have Theo Goldberg, Cathy Davidson, and Connie Yowell are going to have a conversation with you. And then the second half, we're going to have Tara Brown talk about crowdfunding. So I'm going to pass it over to David. David, take it away.
Well, welcome everybody. It's a great pleasure to have you back here, if only for the final meeting. We're waxing nostalgic already. As you know, this is bringing to an end your grant what we want to do here is think together a little bit about ways to go forward, about staying connected, about continuing the work, most importantly regarding badging, and about having a conversation about your enablement to continue to do those things. For us, it's very important that you continue to have a presence in relation to the badge ecology and systems that you're developing, that you remain plugged in, and that you push forward initiative around badging as modes of motivation and assessment and recognition for the kind of connected learning to be done, to which we're all committed. So it's a great pleasure to have you here. Right, I'm sort of tempted to sing the song, you know, when you come to the end of a lollipop, but I'll refrain. But this meeting is as much for you and to hear your voices sort of engage with us in thinking together. So it's a great pleasure to be able to welcome you back, and we hope not for the last time. Thanks so much.
Connie, do we have you?
Am I unmuted?
You're open now.
Oh, hi everybody. This is Connie Yowell from MacArthur. Just wanted to say hello. Really both happy and sad to be here in this final webinar. It's been an extraordinary, I want to say, year and a half almost. It's been just such an incredible journey with you all. This has been unlike, I think, any other competition that we've had. And it sort of set a new bar for how we at MacArthur think about competitions and what can be the impact of competitions and what we learn from them, both in terms of what you all have done during the course of the competition, how you have helped to create an incredibly important movement in national conversation, and have created the exemplars that I think will continue to drive the national conversation and create the standards for how folks think about badges going forward. And so this is a very important conversation for us to be having in terms of next steps for you all specifically and for the broader conversation around badges. So I can't thank you enough for the extraordinary work that you've done over the last year. And I will thank you in advance because I do feel that we're all deeply committed to this work, and I know that you will continue it going forward, and hopefully we'll all be a part of it together. So I'm looking forward to today's conversation.
Cathy, do we have you on mute?
Yes, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, you sound great.
Great. Well, hello everyone, and I'm going to just share, say pretty much the same thing that Connie said and that David said. I'm both happy to be here, so proud to celebrate all your accomplishments of the last 18 months, and sad that this is the last webinar, but I know it's not the final one, or at least it's not our final interaction. And I guess mainly I want to say we really started with almost nothing, and I think not only created a movement but created a community. And I very, very much hope that in the time going forward, any accomplishment, any doubt, any problems, any ideas you have, you'll use the community website on the Haystack website to correspond with one another and to the larger group. Believe me, if it's an accomplishment, we at Haystack will do everything to get out the word to a much larger community. We want to celebrate you because celebrating you is really pushing this new mode of assessment and path making and path finding forward to a larger community. So there's no such thing as a success that you have that isn't also a success for the group. And I just want to say that we will be here to constantly celebrate that and to communicate as best we can with others for you. As relevant material comes into our hands, I'm sure we'll use the Haystack website again to get out information to you in an efficient and group way. So keep checking back and seeing if there's anything new up there that pertains to you. Needless to say, the Mozilla folks are still there for you too in terms of the OBI and all the work they're doing pushing badges going forward. And it's not just, connected learning isn't just a cliche for me. I think the connections we've made with all of the grantees, the rippling effects out from the work you've done are just, they're awe-inspiring. And I wanted to just join Connie and David in thanking you for your work, but also saying how much pleasure it's been that you've pushed my thinking and my mind and ambitions for what badging is and what we can do going forward, and keep us in touch. Keep in touch. Don't go too far away. We look forward to hearing what comes next. Take care, everyone. I want to hear what you have to say in this conversation too. Take care.
And right before we will, anyone, if you've got questions, do the same routine that Ruby always talks about. Raise your hands, ask your questions in Chatsy. But David, I'm going to give you the honors of talking about what we've been working on behind the scenes. And Ruby will go ahead and display that on our screen.
Yeah, so it's a great pleasure to practice what we preach and to badge you all. So we've been working at designing a badge that really recognizes and honors your contributions to the badging initiative and the national compensation that others have referenced in their opening remarks, and to turn you into, to recognize your turning yourselves into badge visionaries, as we're calling you, badge leaders, badging leaders. So it's a great pleasure for us to be able to acknowledge you in the small way. The badges will be issued by Mozilla's OBI in the next coming weeks. We're just now working out the badge issuance for these badges, but we wanted to use this occasion to recognize you in person and coming to an inbox near you soon will be your badge visionary badge. So it's a great pleasure to be able to do this for the DML competition and for the badging initiative, and I think I speak also for MacArthur in saying it's also on behalf of the DML initiative more broadly. So thanks so much, and this is a very small token of our appreciation.
So if you have any questions, anybody, this is your opportunity. I see cool coming from Robin. I know sometimes it can be very overwhelming to be awarded your very first badge. I do want to also add that oftentimes with past competitions, people stay in touch, and that is an absolutely normal part of the process. We won't be doing any formal programming like we've done, but I do hope that people stay in touch with us. We often write letters of recommendation for other grants. When we hear about exciting partnerships or opportunities that we think would be great for you, we try and connect you. So we stay in touch with people. I'm still in touch with a lot of people who were in our first and second competitions all the way through to this one. So I hope everybody feels like that is a wide open door and absolutely part of it. And of course, stay very engaged with the Mozilla Open Badges community. We're all moving on this going forward, and certainly not going to stop having these conversations. If you have any questions about the badge issuing process, we'll be in touch with you about how those steps are going to work. So we'll make sure that the people who are interested in displaying those badges on their website and being part of that have a way to claim them. So we'll be in touch with some follow-up emails about that. Oh, Robin, it's not your first badge. I guess there probably are a whole bunch of people here who have been awarding and receiving badges. I should know better. I do see Mary is asking a question. I'm sure everyone is wondering how we can continue to fund, maintaining, and continuing our badge efforts. That's part of the conversation. That's what we're all going to be thinking about, talking about, making sure that everybody knows about those opportunities. Definitely when I hear about opportunities that I know people are awarding funds with badge-related type of grants, those get put up on Haystack. They go out through our LinkedIn, they go out through Twitter, they go out through Google Hangout, through Facebook. So if you haven't already become part of that workflow and are following those different social media channels, do so. We announce our competitions, our new ones. This is probably a question that's going to come up when we do launch our next competition, so I'm just going to answer it right now, and David, feel free to chime in. You can apply to the next competition. You cannot be the PI, but you can be a collaborator on that. I think that's the #1 question I get asked by previous DML winners. Once you become part of this, you definitely understand the type of connected learning approach that we're interested in supporting. So once you get that and you feel excited about contributing to this, we definitely want to see those intellectual ideas come back. So so definitely keep an eye on our social media for when the next announcement is going to come out about our competition, and feel free to contact us if you have other questions.
Am I still on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is Connie. The other thing I would add to that, Cheryl, is that we are working on a couple of things to ensure active demand and use of the badges that you've developed, which will also lead to, I think, additional sustainability options. So on the MacArthur side, we are working, some of you may have known that we had a very successful sort of pilot of having a city take up badges in Chicago last summer, and so we are now beginning to work, doing the background work with several cities so that they can begin to do something very similar in their cities as we begin to think about rolling it out across the country. And so as cities begin to organize themselves around badges, we want to begin to create platforms and opportunities for your work to be implemented in ways that it will be taken up and we think provide sustainability mechanisms for your continued work. We'll also be working on, it's still plans in the works, but we'll be working on putting together a national conference on badges where we'll be inviting lots of other funders and others who will be hopefully engaged in the work going forward. So we're, in addition to MacArthur continuing to fund the DML competition and other work, we are also working to seed the ground with other foundations and other cities and other places for the implementation of the badges.
Yeah, thank you, Connie. I'm wondering too if I just realized we have not actually had an opportunity to talk to our grantees about Clinton Global Initiative, and there might be some people who have questions about that. No questions.
Why don't you just go ahead and talk about it, Cheryl?
Yeah, I mean, do people know about what it even refers to? So
Yeah, go ahead, Cheryl.
Just do a quick primer.
So Clinton Global Initiative is specifically for us is about the 2millionbetterfutures.org website, where if you have an organization, I'm thinking specifically for our grantees, if you have an organization that you want to accept your badges, this is a great opportunity to direct them to 2 Million Better Futures. So it's if somebody, yeah, thank you, Sunny, for putting that in there. It's a great way to on-ramp them so they know they're part of this really big thing. It's coming from Clinton Global Initiative. I think is it 2016 that we're expecting to hit our numbers for 2 million better futures. This includes workforce accepting badges and universities, higher ed accepting badges. So I know one of the things that came out of the project Q&As that was really up top and center is make sure your badges are relevant. So part of that is finding those organizations that you know are going to be meaningful to your earners, and this is one way that you can make those organizations acknowledge and recognize how legitimate badges are. They're not just, and it's pretty stunning from our side to see the database just fill up with these organizations as reputable and influential as your organizations are. So if you want to use that momentum to get your own badge system, badge ecosystem one leg up, that's a great tool to use. And this might be a good opportunity to, I think both, well, definitely Sunny is here, if Carla is as well. I feel like it would be great if Carla and Sunny, if you want to just do a shout out and say hi to people who've been such a big visible part of our effort. If you want to unmute yourselves and just say hey to people. Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
Just a minute, I have to get to them. Sunny and Carla.
Hello.
I don't think.
Sunny.
Yeah, I don't see
Hi,
Carla.
everybody. Carla's actually in transit. We have a Mozilla event happening, so a lot of the folks on our team are traveling today. I feel so honored to have been part of this endeavor. This was incredibly rewarding. It was an incredible learning experience. Cheryl was a wonderful, wonderful partner to work with throughout this entire the past year and a half. I've learned so much from all the grantees. I'm really excited about the next chapter. In many ways, like Cheryl mentioned in the kickoff, we do feel like this is just the beginning. I certainly feel that way, and I believe so. There's more in store, and I feel, and a lot of you guys, I have a feeling will be actively engaged throughout in spite of the conclusion of the competition.
Thanks, Sunny. I realized too, while you were talking, that there is a question from Fiona about when other cities will be announced, and I guess, Connie, that is a question for you.
Oh, sure. I don't know. Would be the quick answer. The longer answer is that we are in conversation, and it'll be up to the cities to announce for themselves, and I suspect it'll be much more probably around spring, around March, April, when they're ready to announce. Chicago is certainly doing it again next year.
And for those of you, I will continue to send announcements out to the DML badges at haystack.org listserv. So when we get this kind of information, we will be sending it out, and also to the Open Badges Google group. But we do hang on to that listserv, and we continue to use it. Obviously, the communication is going to taper down a little bit, but when we get big announcements that we know you're going to find useful, we'll put those out to the listserv in email. Make sure that you're all kept up to date. This is one of those competitions that I can tell that if you're successful, the whole thing is going to be successful. So I'll be doing what I can to make sure that you get that information. I did also want to say one thing as well. To me, this has been a really wonderful year, just because we also took some of the information and the lessons learned that you gave us and made that public. And I can't tell you how excited that has made people. I know you're probably not getting direct feedback on that, but I just wanted to tell you that that has gone further in my mind than anything else that we've done in terms of impacting the field. Obviously, you're impacting your own environments with your badge systems, but that knowledge that you shared with us, that we shared back out, has gone such a long way. And the next stage that we're doing, I've just gone through a painful deep think about the data, including a lot of the work that Sunny and I have done with you as context, and tried to map it out a little bit to what Dan's been doing. And I hope to have something that I can give back to you this fall, so that you'll be able to use some of this information to give to stakeholders, or as you build out your badge systems, that information is useful. So that is all all still being aggregated. It's wonderful that we have those project Q&As on the website for people to take a look at. And now the next thing that needs to happen is that it's in modular pieces that people can actually sit down and see what is deeply there after somebody's gone through and done a synthesis. So thank you to people for being willing to share that information, and your reports were fantastic. It's really been, it's just amazing to me that in a year that you have been able to produce this kind of knowledge. You know that your reports are coming up due, the final reports, and we tried to make that as light of a lift as possible for you, but that 2-page summary is going to be super helpful just to put in context what happened in a year so people know this is what you can do in a year, this is what we came in knowing, this is what we ended up doing. So those are going to be super helpful. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask me. I know some of you are deploying right now and have asked for extensions, and so we know they'll be staggered a little bit as they come in, but we're looking forward to reading those reports and sharing those back out with the community so they can make use of them. And I see in Chatsy that Mandy is sharing the webinar that we did on the Chicago Summer of Learning. That is a fantastic webinar. That is Carla and Sunny talking about the tools they created in the Chicago Summer of Learning and the process that they went through. You will see some of the most amazing spreadsheets ever that Carla and Sunny created to keep track of that data. Is truly impressive. It is, if you are a part of the spreadsheet appreciation society, you will start to hear music when you look at that spreadsheet. So if you haven't seen that webinar, it's up on our site. I've done a table of contents for everybody, so so you can all watch that if you want to catch up. But yes, queen of the spreadsheets to Carla. She's not here, so we'll have to give her a shout out. Her and Sunny did an amazing job.
And we're still analyzing the data that's coming out of Chicago, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sunny, but more than 100,000 badges were given out. We had 200,000 youth involved in more than, I want to say, 100 organizations. And all of the major, in Chicago, they're called sister agencies. The parks, the libraries, the major museums were all involved and actively participating in either providing their own badges or providing programs that badges had been developed in. So it was, and we had a major showcase, very much in the pop-up tradition, at the end of the summer, where kids could display what they created and see their badges too. Sunny, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but I think I got those numbers, just basic numbers, but we're in the midst of doing a much deeper dive and analysis of that.
Yep, that sounds right, and yep, nothing further to add on my side.
Well, speaking of going forward, and David and Cathy and Connie, I know I'd invited everybody to come and be here for the first half hour, and then we were going to move over to Tara. So I don't know if you're going to stay or not. If you want to say any last words, either you or Cathy or Connie, but we now have Tara coming up. Did you want to say anything else, or is everybody?
Just goodbye to everybody, and I look forward to us actually having physical, real, metadata full stuff in our badges to offer to everybody, and we'll also publish the spreadsheets that we came up with. Mostly, I think it was Carla who came up with some wonderful spreadsheets about our own design process in designing that badge, and I hope that's fun for everyone to have the badge, and also instructive to see what the process was that we went through.
I just want to echo what Cheryl said about the 2-page sheets, the summaries of your programs and what you were grappling with and learning over the course of the year. I learned a ton from reading those and from staying in communication with the Haystack folks and with the Mozilla folks throughout the year, sort of learning from all the things that you guys have been grappling with. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing both the struggles as well as the things that have gone well. And I really look forward to continuing the conversation, continuing the communication, and continuing to see all of the badge systems that you've developed broadly implemented. So thank you so much, everybody.
Can I just add to that? I would say that I think it's obvious to all of us who've been centrally involved in this project that we wouldn't be in the place we were in, we wouldn't have been able to make a commitment to the Clinton Global Initiative, and we wouldn't be launching a whole range of ventures but for the work in which you've all engaged, both through the effort and blood, sweat, and tears from, those heady days of your presentations at the California Academy of Sciences, to the announcement at the DML conference, through the past, as Connie said, year and a half of working through the glitches and through the through the challenges we've all faced together. It has helped us actually to be in the place we are now. So, kudos to you all. We look forward to working with you and engaging with you going forward. This is a step in the process, not the end of a process. And we absolutely look forward to to seeing your badges applied in real life to learning applications. So looking to the future, and a hearty 3 cheers to you all.
Thank you, Connie, Cathy, and David. And yes, everybody, if you ever want to feel good, all you have to do is share with us your successes. We are your biggest fans. So when those big wins happen, make sure you email us and let us know so we can brag about you to the network. So thank you, everybody.